Okay, let's get started. So I'll create a simple class file. Give some class name here and check this public static environment checkbox as we are going to run this program as a Java application. And once you click on finish, your Java class file has been created. So before starting, let me explain you the simple syntax of for loop. Nothing but for initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. And open braces. Inside this, we will be giving you a block of code. Okay, and close the braces. So this is the simple syntax for loop. So I'll explain you each things which we declare inside it. So let me explain you what is initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. Okay. So this initialization, whatever the value you are setting, it will get set for the first time before the code of block is executed. Okay. Before this block of code is executed, it will get set and executed. And this condition, it checks for the condition every time, and if it is true, okay, so if it is true, then this block of code will get executed. If it is false, then it will come out of this for loop. Okay, and here the increment or decrement, it gets executed every time after the code block has been executed. First, when it comes to the for loop in your code, the initialization it will check and the value will be set, and that will get checked with this condition. If it is true, it comes inside the block of code. Okay, and after that it will come and increment or decrement here. Then it will go to the condition and it will check for the condition. It will come here inside the block of code. Okay, it will go here again and it will check for the, sorry, it will increment or decrement, and then it will check for the condition. So once the condition is false, then what happens, it will come out of this for loop. Okay, so this is what internally happens when the for loop is executed by the Java program. So here let me write a simple method. I'll write a for loop here. I have to specify the data type here. Okay, and I am initializing the value of I as 0, and the condition is I am setting it as if I is less than 3. Okay, and I'm giving the increment operator, and let us print the value of I here. Okay, value of I is I. Okay, so what we'll do now, we will run this program. Yeah, so you have to make it a static. So you can see the value has been printed in the console. Okay, so I will explain this for loop now, what happens internally, okay, in a brief. So you can see here the first iteration when it comes, the value of I is initialized as 0. Okay, so this initialization I have set it as 0, and as I said, this will happen only for the first time. Okay, so then it comes for the condition. If 0 is less than 3, yeah, it's less than 3, so it will come and execute this block of code. Okay, so that's what I have given here. Execute the block and it prints the value, and then the increment is I plus plus. Okay, so I plus plus is nothing but I equal to I plus 1. Okay, so I am incrementing the value of I by 1. So if you want to do by 2, you can give like this. Okay, and if you want to give by 3, then you can give like this. So for now we have executed by incrementing the value of I with 1. Okay, and let's see, value of I is initialized as 0, so the value is 0 plus 1, and I value becomes 1. Okay, so as I said, the value of I is initialized as 0 here, and then it checks for the condition, executes the block, and it sets the value of I by increment operator, and the final value of I is 1 in the first iteration. And now for the second iteration, sorry, what happens in the second iteration? Value of I is 1. Okay, the final value what I said, it changed to 1, the previous iteration, and now the condition can see 1 is less than 3. Yeah, it's true, and it executes the block and prints the value. Sorry, I think the shortcut it is opening. It executes the block and it prints the value, and now it goes to the increment or decrement. Okay, so the value of I is equal to 1 plus 1. The value of I is 1 here, so 1 plus 1, we are incrementing it by 1, and now the value gets changed to 2. Okay, and then it comes to the third iteration. Comes to the third iteration, and the value of I is 2 now, and the condition 2 is less than 3. It's true again, and it executes block, and the value gets changed to 2 plus 1. And what is the value after third iteration? It's 3, correct? And now for the fourth iteration, the value of I is 3, correct? Value of I is 3, and the condition is getting checked now. 3 is less than 3. Okay, is that true? No, it's false. So it comes out of the loop. So that's why it printed till the value of I is 2 here. Okay, got it? So let's make a change here. I'm putting it as less than or equal to 3. And now if I run, what happens? You can see it printed till 3. So last time it printed till 2. Okay, so what is the change here? The condition is checking as if 0 is less than 3 and if 0 is equal to 3. It will check for both. So the same thing will happen here. So all this condition gets true. And when it comes here, if 3 is less than 3, no, it's false. But if 3 is equal to 3, yeah, it's true. Okay. So again, the condition is true, and here it executes the block and it prints the value. And here it changes 3 plus 1, I equal to 4. Okay. And then it moves to the fifth iteration here. Sorry, I equal to 4. Comes to the fifth iteration, and the value of I is 4. Condition 4 is less than or equal to 3. 4 is not less than 3 and it is not equal to 3. So it is false. And here it comes out of the loop. Okay. So that's why it printed till 3. So now let me create another method. Public static void. This is for the decrement operator. So let's copy this and put it here. Okay, so for decrement, it's nothing but I minus minus. Okay, so this will decrement the value by 1. So if you want to decrement by 2, then have to give minus equal to 2. Okay, so we will try with minus minus. Okay, we will decrement by 1. Okay, so let me run the second method now. Decrement for loop. I'll execute this and let's see what is the, yeah, you can see it is giving an infinite loop. I'll tell you why it is. So let's take the first iteration now. The value of I is initialized as 0. Okay, and here it comes and verify 0 is less than or equal to 3. Okay, so it's true, correct, and it executes the block and it prints the value. And here what happens, I equal to I minus 1, because we have decremented the, here we have used decrement operator. Okay, so value of I is 0 minus 1. What is the value now? It's minus 1. Okay, so now it will go for the second iteration. It will go for the second iteration. The value of I is minus 1. Okay, and it checks for the condition now. Minus 1 is less than or equal to 3. Yes, that's true. And here it executes the block and the value of I, you can see here, minus 1, minus 1. What is the value now? Sorry, minus 1, minus 1. The value of I is minus 2. Okay, and now it goes to the third iteration here. It goes to the third iteration, and here the value of I is minus 2, and the condition again it's true because minus 2 is less than or equal to 3, and it executes the block and the value gets decremented with minus 2. So it goes as minus 3 as the final value. So you can see here it will not end as the value is not initialized properly, and even the condition has to be initialized properly if you are giving a decrement operator. Okay, so what should be the value here? Say for example you give it as 3. Okay, and you have to give it as I is greater than or equal to 3. So now if you run this program, oh I'm sorry, you can give it as 3. Okay, so if you give it as 3, it will check 3 is greater than 3, no, 3 equal to 3, yes, so it printed only 3. Okay, so let's give it as 0, and I'm running it now. You can see the value of I is 3, the value of I is 2, and the value of I is 1, 0. It printed properly. So let's go to the decrement now. The value of I is 3. So this happens only for the first time method. Initialization it is set now, and here the condition 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is the condition, correct? I is greater than or equal to 0. So yeah, it's true. It executes the block, and what is the value of I here? It's 3, correct? So the I value got changed to 2, and the final value of I is 2 here, and the condition 2 is less than, sorry, I'm sorry, 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and executes the block, and here 2 minus 1 I equal to 1 in the second iteration. Okay, and now the value of I is 1 when it enters the third iteration, and here it checks 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, it's true. So it goes here, and 1 minus 1 I equal to 0. Okay, the final value of I is 0 now. It goes to the fourth iteration here, and the value of I is 0. Condition 0 is greater than or equal to 0 is greater than or equal to 0. It's true, because or if any one condition passes, it is considered as true. Okay, I think I have explained this in the previous videos. So here it checks greater than 0, no, 0 equal to 0, yes, it's true. Okay, so it comes here and executes and prints the value, and here what happens, I is 0. Okay, it comes as minus 1. So in the fifth iteration it will come out of the loop. Correct. Value of I is 1 minus 1. Okay, and the condition minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, no, it's false, and it comes out of the loop. So if you move down to the console, you can see it's prints till 0. Okay, so till 0 it is printed properly, I think, till here. Okay, and in the fifth iteration only it's coming out of the loop. So that's it with the basic explanation of for loop. Now let us try with some practical use case where we implement this for loop in automation. Mostly we will use the looping logics in Java collections. So some of the Java collections are array list, linked list, hash map, hash set, hash table. So I will explain these collection concepts in brief in our upcoming videos. For now, we will use array list with a practical example on how we use in our daily automation code. Okay. So I have created a class. Uh, so to start with, let's first quickly understand how to initialize the array list and add some objects to it. There are several ways to add object to an array list, and I will guide you with some couple of ways. First, we will initialize an array list, and then we will add the objects to it. Okay, so I'll write a simple method here, add later. Oh, sorry. Okay, and now I will initialize an array list. It's simple. Okay, if you go to the internet, you can see how to initialize an array list, and this is the only way. And they will give some list of items how to initialize it, and you need to specify whether it's going to add a string or what, and have to create an object here, add later. Okay, new array list. So it will be throwing an error because you need to import the array list from the Java util class. Okay, okay, now you have initialized an array list as add later, and now we will add some objects to it. Okay, using the add method. So it has a number of methods here, you can see. Okay, so you can use all these things. You can clear an objects. So this I will explain you in our upcoming videos in detail. So now I'm just adding three values to this array list. Okay, so like I will add it as Chennai, and what else? Add later. So add by add later. So add okay. So currently this array list is having three objects in it. Okay. So this is one way, and the other way is to initialize an array list is can directly initialize it. Okay. So I'll just provide array list string. Sorry, string. This is a data type similar to that, but we are giving all the objects in the same step. That is the only difference. Okay. So there are several ways. So you can just surf and get all the information. So I will also explain you in the later videos. Okay. So I will just add countries here. So this also has. So this object also has two values. Okay. So now you can use the for loop here to get all these objects and print. So how we will do this? Same. You have to initialize and then put the condition I is less than. First, let us print this one. Okay. Or we can print any one thing. That should be fine. And later dot size. That's how it will loop each index. Okay. So you need to put add later get list dot size. And you are incrementing it. And in this site, let us print the value of index. Value of index is I. Okay. And add later, correct? Add later dot. So for adding a value to this array list, you have to put dot add, and to get the index value, you have to put array list dot get. The index is I. Okay. 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 I'm sorry. I think I haven't mentioned data type here. That's why it is showing error. All right. So let's bring this. For now, for confusion, I will comment this out. Okay, I'm running now. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the method here. Add later. Okay, let us run this program and see the output. You can see the value of index is 0. Okay, so it will come to this for loop. The size of this list is 3. Okay, so this is the first index, this is the second index, and this is the third index. Alright, so the value of index, so always the array index starts from 0. Okay, so that I will explain in the later videos. Anyways, so it comes here, first I is 0. So here I add later size will be 3. Okay, so I is less than 3. Yes, it is. So it comes inside, and the value of index is what is the index 0. Okay, and add later dot get of 5. So in the 0th index, the value is 10, okay, then it get incremented here. Now the value of the I is 1. So it comes here, sorry, it comes here. 1 is less than 3, yes it is. So here it comes, the value of index is 1, and what is in the first index? It is Mumbai. Okay, so it comes here, and it comes again here and increments the value as 2. So 2 is less than 3, correct, it's true. So it comes here, the value of index is 2, and add later dot get the second index Bangalore. So it displays here, and now it got incremented and the value of I is 3. 3 is less than 3, no, so it comes out of the loop. So this is one simple example in array list. Okay, so if you are putting it as equal, what will happen? It will not run because it has only 0, 1 and 2 index. Okay, there is no third index. So if you run this one, it will show an index out of bound error. Yeah, so you can see here index 3 out of bounds for line 3. Okay, so it will not execute, you have to give this time. Alright.